I live under the curse of Cassandra, always to be right, never to be believed. And that's what's happening in this case. Again, it wasn't. There was no doubt about my position at the start. I didn't hesitate. I felt at the beginning that the government's response was disproportionate. Not so much wrong. It's not wrong to try and prevent the spread of disease if you can. It's not wrong to take any rational action to reduce harm if it's within your powers to do so. But it just seemed to me that closing down a very large part of an economy, which is increasingly a service economy, and therefore was particularly vulnerable to the sort of closed down, was very dangerous. I also thought, and this is a subject which has been pushed to one side, that the assault on personal liberty, which was involved in it, was intolerable and should not have been attempted by any government in a free country, and also that people should have objected to it more. I simply don't think that it's the business of government to interfere in the private lives of people to the extent that's going on. But the economic thing just seemed to me to be quite obviously very dangerous. And I said again and again, there is no evidence that crashing your economy saves a single life, whereas there is a great deal of evidence that severe economic damage costs lives in the near term and in the long term. In fact, from the beginning, I used to quote Professor Sucharit Bhakti of the University of Mainz in Germany, who made this warning particularly about the danger of long-term isolation to the healthy old, which has been a major part of this. I think an awful lot of old people in this country up to now living productive, interesting, and active lives, confined to their homes, prevented from making contact with their friends except through electronic means, are actually suffering in mental and physical health as a result of this in ways which will cost us greatly. And as for the economic cost, it doesn't take much imagination to work out what will happen to the National Health Service, which we're all supposed to value so highly, if the tax base collapses. You simply cannot afford to have a National Health Service on the scale which people want if you have a lower tax base. What will happen if more and more people are unemployed? An absolute key factor in the development of ill health. There are so many ways in which this threatens health, and therefore, as I say repeatedly, this isn't a matter of money against life. It's a question of life against life. Both the calculations involve lives, and both sides in this argument, I think, have to be assumed to be acting out of goodwill in the hope of doing good. I just don't think that the government are correct. I think they made a mistake in what they did, and I suppose I should mind that what I was met with when I first raised these criticisms was derision and abuse. But I'm so used to it that I don't really, if the thing now does begin to moderate and reverse, then that will be good. And I think it may have something to do with the fact that some of us did raise a small banner of protest against it from the start, which in any free country was our duty and something which we were absolutely entitled and right to do.
We will make America great again.